Wheat Germ, Holly has your bag with your medicine. Please meet at the information booth as soon as you can, please. Helen Savage, please call your father at the Motel Glory in Woodridge. Helen Savage, please call your father at the Motel Glory in Woodridge. The warning that I've received, you may take it with however many grains of salt you wish, that the brown acid that is circulating around us is not specifically too good. It's suggested that you do stay away from that. Of course, it's your own trip, so be my guest. But please be advised that there is a warning on that one, okay?
Well, you were listening to a clip of the Woodstock movie, Messages to Call People that don't take the brown acid, followed by Take on Higher Sky by Sly, that you're listening to, Sly and the Family Stone. Our next guest is one of my oldest and dearest friends, Trudy Morgal, whom I've known for at least 50 years. We first met back at an old bar called Judges in Baltimore, where she was performing with her band. She was singing like Tina Turner and playing the drums like Ringo Starr. If you ever heard Trudy sing, you will never forget it. I got to know her and her bandmates, and we eventually began exploring meditation and ageless wisdom teachings together. They were all interested in the Esoteric Study Center, or the AUM school that I founded, and they wanted to learn the light meditations we practiced at our Savitria commune. I taught them how to do these meditations before they went on stage for all their gigs, and they found it helped them get into sync with each other and the music. Their harmonies just soared. The band liked these meditations so much that they changed the name of their band to Light in honor of these light meditations. The Light Bus is, of course, the VW bus I painted for this band, and that was eventually made famous after being photographed up at Woodstock in 1969 with Trudy Morgal sitting on top of it holding an umbrella. We're going to ask her a few questions now in the brief time we have remaining to find out what she remembers about this historic concert and what she's up to today. Welcome to 21st Century Radio, Trudy.
Hey, Bob. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing about an A- right now. Hey, I heard your little pup dog there.
Well, when I speak, she's like, what's going on?
Yeah, I bet she does want to know what's going on. Wait a second here. Our time is so limited that I'm going to have to jump right in here. We'll start with a series of questions on your background. Were you singing and playing drums all your life?
Not yet, Bob, but since I was about 10.
But
Not all my life yet.
Not all of your life yet.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Are you self-taught in both the arts, or did you take lessons?
No, I was just always sitting there watching somebody when I was a kid, watching them from the side of the stage.
Yeah.
I could see it all happening from back there.
And when did you begin performing?
Well, as soon as they let me play a song, they were kind of just kidding with me, because I'm a little kid, and they went, that's pretty good, play another one. And it kind of grew over time where they were always calling me up. And I got better and better just because. And then I wanted a set of my own, of course. And then my mother pitched in, and I got my first set, which was like, heaven. And I was only maybe 13 then. And no girls were playing drums. But I didn't think of that in the beginning. It was like I just wanted to play them.
Well, do you remember meeting me for the first time? I think our first...
I can't remember the time. I remember the era. It was around about after Bob Grimm came into the group. I'm not so sure we knew.
No, I knew you. I knew you and watched you before.
Oh, right, in Judges, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Judges.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
You were a cool dude.
Yeah, I was a cool dude. Gotten old, but
yeah, you were one of us, or we were one of you.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, we clicked.
Did you help? What? Excuse me. I misquote this question. Any anecdotes or funny stories you remember about our times together backstage or traveling in the Light Bus?
Well, there's, take your pick. I mean, I can say this now because this is now, and people can understand it. But you remember sitting in the Greenwich Village there in the park with me. We were really,
yes.
under the influence of some really nice acid, and we were having a great time. and Jeff Lutzy comes up, "Hey, what are y'all doing?" And he just berated us with truth and responsibility, and we were just in another place. I'll never forget that. He really bumped us out of our little magic carpet.
Well,
that was funny as hell.
There were so many people walking through that particular area, which right now it slips my mind. I don't know why. But it was where the fountain was.
Yeah.
The Central Park? No, it wasn't Central Park. No,
it was the village.
The village.
That little park in the village.
It was the village. And we saw some very strange people walking by, even stranger than us. And we were commenting on who were they and what were they doing here. That was.
Yeah, and then here comes Jeff with the real life thing going on and pertinent and everything. He's like, "We don't want no pertinent stuff. Hey, stop it."
Now, do you remember when Bob Grimm had me paint his bus to drive the band to the gear and to gigs and stuff like that?
Yeah. It was, it was at a service, but we weren't going a lot of places, at the time. But it sure did cause a stir when we did finally start riding in it. Police stopped us one time just admittingly saying, "I just wanted to see it."
Well,
This is cool.
Yeah, as you know, I had the biggest problem in Baltimore on that. Stopped by police repeatedly, scores and scores of time. And every time they'd stop me, I got to tell them, "Search it. Search my bus, because that's why you're stopping me. Search my bus. Let's get it over with." And after about 6 months of that, most of the policemen knew me well and knew that I was not carrying anything. And that worked out pretty well after that. But boy, being stopped at every red light and everywhere they could, it was not a comfortable experience.
They think you're an idiot if you paint everything up like that if you were doing something wrong?
Well, Baltimore was a bit behind a lot of things in that time.
I would say naive. I wouldn't say behind.
Yeah. Oh well. Good. That's
they had
good
no
enough
reason to be hip. Everything just turned sour pretty gradually and quick. At the same time.
Well, let's get to your Woodstock story. Were you excited to go, and did you know it was going to be as big as it was?
If we just saw half the people that was on that roster, I was going to be satisfied. And I just couldn't think of any other better lineup. And we were all bored. We were 6 nights a week a band, and you know how that gets.
Yeah.
And being off on Monday is like, what are you doing Monday? Just breathe all day? I mean, there's nothing to do on Monday either. So we were wanting to see something.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody else were going to concerts and coming in afterwards saying, "Hey, we just saw ZZ Top." It's like, hey, we didn't see nobody. So we had to go to this one.
Yeah. Did you sleep inside the bus?
I can't tell you the truth about that. I know we pitched a tent. And
all right.
I just really don't have a memory of that.
Oh, well, that's a good
waking
excuse.
up and I'm in the tent or the bus or anything. We pretty much were on our feet watching most bands at night. In the daytime, we can't sleep.
Well, did you entertain any strangers inside the bus besides the group you went up with?
Well, you'd have to ask Bob about that because I had no authority, so I know I didn't, have anybody coming in or out or anything. But I'm sure he, people, all the doors were open. I got pictures of us, but all the doors are open.
Yeah,
you didn't have to get any closer than that.
There are films of the Woodstock Bus showing that door being open, especially, and then also the side of the Sphinx side. Hey, did the bus keep you guys dry in the thunderstorms, or were any certain people allowed to go in?
I imagine it did.
But I don't know if you went into the bus. Did you stay in the bus, or you decided to hang out in the mud?
Yeah, well, I mean, both. There was, if you were awake, you didn't want to be like sitting in there like a monkey. You just go in amongst the people. You're already wet and everything, and it was just such good vibes everywhere. Everybody was having a good time, regardless. It felt good. I mean, August is hot.
Yeah. Well, there is a famous line in the Oscar-winning documentary about Woodstock where the announcer on the stage is warning people not to take the brown acid. Now, I've heard you say before that you took a picture of that person who was selling that bad acid at the show. Tell us what you remember about this experience or about anything related to acid or drug use at the festival.
Well, we, as you might know, we were up on the hill, like facing the stage, and a row of other people doing the same thing. And in front of us was a road where everyone was walking. It was like a parade back and forth. You just sit there. It was like a show. And so anybody, making that trip walked right in front of us. And then across that little path was some more cars parked. And there's this like a MG or something. And people kept coming up and saying, "Hey, see that guy down there with that leather hat and mustache? He's selling that brown acid, so don't buy it." He didn't say, "Tell anybody," turn him in, or, that didn't even occur to me. I just thought, well, here's the famous guy selling the acid. I'm 24 years old, I'm just thinking, really? Cool. We brought our own anyhow, but I took a couple of pictures, but then he turned. I got one picture of him looking straight back at me, and I thought, I'm not going to make him paranoid, so I stopped taking. I got about 3 or 4 pictures of him. But I'm sure, you could see the bag in his hand, and the people, have no reason to just trash somebody. And what if we checked it? Nobody was in the head of fooling anybody. Everybody wanted to help. They wanted to tell us for help. Yeah.
What do you remember eating throughout that 4 days that you were there? Where did you get the food?
We took some sandwiches and stuff, but to my memory, we gave our stuff away. People were like, "This thing is closed. There's nobody in this, where they sell this. Everything that you would go to see was empty." And so we gave our food away. We didn't want to eat. We were tripping. It was, you don't eat, it moves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to eat food that's moving while I'm trying to eat it.
Well, which of the performing acts made the biggest impression on you?
Well, I think hands down, as far as getting whipped into a dither, it had to be Sly, because it was just the best music. Prior was like rock, soft rock, and starting to be a little metal, but I don't even know if metal crept in there yet. It was just a certain level of, sound coming at you. And when Sly did, there was like horns and great separated parts that had real power of moving you, and great messages. His songs were just easy for everybody to love, and they just blew the walls off. Everybody was just rocking. Whatever they said, "I want to take you higher," crowd went 2 pumps in the air higher. Everybody had their hand up. It was awesome.
Well,
it was just lift you up, boy.
When did you
loved it.
When did you leave the festival? Did you hear Jimi Hendrix play on Monday morning?
Of course, that was our wake-up call.
That was the wake-up call.
There's a picture of us, the bus. You don't see us. I assume we're in there. There's nothing but mud and trash around us, and very 1 or 2 people, because that was Monday, and most people had left.
We
wanted to see Jimmy.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy. He wasn't very happy with the group, that the sound the group was making. Did it make any difference to you?
Oh no, I thought whatever he put out as a sound is what we loved.
That's right,
it's like what do we want it to be more? What? Or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The way he bent that beginning of the national anthem thing, it was just like we felt. It was very it was very wild, and we were burnt to a crisp as far as our brains and our energy. We were just drained, and the song really fit the mood for the moment.
Was leaving as difficult as arriving? Were you stuck in traffic for a long time either way?
I don't think so. Bob was driving. He had the hard part. He had to think. We were too full. Our brains were just burnt. We were just so full of everything that happened.
Well, it's a good thing his brain wasn't burnt when you guys first entered, because if he hadn't thought so quickly and to say that this bus really is part of the art project, I don't think he would have ever gotten in.
Well, we would have gotten in, but we'd been down in the halfway in the woods around bushes and things. We wouldn't have been where there was such a trail of people constantly going back and forth.
Yeah.
No matter where you were in that concert, you would get up on that hill to go to the bathroom or the emergency station or whatever. You would have to have seen us. We were right up there next to it.
Right. Well,
and there was no art exhibit. Bob just said, "Oh, we're with the art exhibit." It's so he moved some cones and pointed up the hill. We went up. That was great. Good for him.
Well, next month you're joining our caravan of artists and musicians and vintage Volkswagen enthusiasts with the recreated light bus as we return to Woodstock in August, and we're going up to the 50th anniversary weekend, as you know, at Bethel Woods Performing Arts Center. What are you looking forward to at this anniversary event?
Whatever they present. It's never going to be people, I hope they don't think it's going to be another kind of thing. So I'm just going to go and take it as it comes. I'm looking forward to every minute of it.
Well, we are too, for lots of reasons. Obviously, it's awful strange for me not having gone to Woodstock. Do you still have your tickets?
Zach had hers. She can't locate him. She's moved a couple times, and they're among the missing right now.
Well, you can still get them for a couple $100.
Yeah.
Still, from that standpoint. Well,
yeah.
Trudy, all the time that we've known each other and worked together in different ways, what do you think that me and you, just together, really why we met and why you think it was important for us to get together?
Well, I think we had something to offer each other. I think I felt familiar with you. It wasn't anything to just start off like an old friend returning after some time, but I never met you before. You're that kind of guy to me. I know a couple of people that really have met you and know you and just don't understand your whole thing and have a preconception. And so when they meet you, that doesn't go away right away,
Right.
I met you in the circumstances that allowed the truth, And you did help us a lot.
Well, you might be even performing a little song for us that day. Is that right, when we get together?
Yeah, I'm hoping. I hope Bob will plunk along with me because, I've injured my hand, and this is only almost like a test. I know I can do it at home, but, I'm reluctant, but I'll do it.
Okay, well, especially you might be even performing a song for us on this coming at the launch party for the recreated light bus as it leads on its journey back to Woodstock 50 years. And August the 12th, 10 a.m. it starts, and it will be for many hours after that. And at American Visionary Arts Museum. We'll see you then, Trudy.
Okay, Bob, thanks for having me, man. Love you.
Thank you. Love you too, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. LightVWBus.com is the place to go to get updated on this particular event. And next hour, John Wesley Chisholm will be joining us, and he is the person that made sure that this bus was created. And here's Janice at Woodstock.
No one to love, though I've looked everywhere, and I can't find me anybody to love, to feel my passion.
Stay connected with stimulating talk and breaking news on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Baltimore, and WCBM.com.